In the shadows of ancient Japan, where death was a companion to the weak and the triumph of steel was the only law, a legend of flesh, blood, and will was forged. Miyamoto Musashi was not merely a passing samurai. He was the living embodiment of unyielding resolve. A harsh childhood in a bloody era shaped him, where he witnessed death in his youth, turning his heart to iron and his will to steel. But what if this legend transcended time to face the greatest fighter of our modern era? Who would emerge victorious when the ancient genius of combat meets the pinnacle of modern science and training? Musashi did not follow the traditional path of the samurai. He was a ronin, a masterless samurai, yet he was the sole master of the art of war. He surpassed all others, not just through physical strength, but through unmatched tactical brilliance. His mind was his primary weapon, capable of reading his opponent's intentions with a glance and predicting their moves before they began. In his most famous duel, he faced the legendary samurai Sasaki Kojiro and his long sword, the drying pole. But Musashi did not even bring a real sword. He defeated him with a wooden sword carved from a boat oar, proving to the world that the true victor is the one who wins with his mind before his sword. Talent and training, the secret of invincible strength. Musashi combined divine talent with demonic training. A dark past. He lived in an era of civil wars that tore the country apart, where killing was a means of survival. This past tempered his spirit, making it as hard as stone with no room for weakness. Unparalleled combat experience. Over 60 duels from the age of 13 until his final days, undefeated in all. Each battle added a new layer to his genius. A unique style. He created the two-sword fighting style, Niten Ichi-Ru, shattering all combat traditions. He fought with his right and left hands in deadly harmony, like a whirlwind of steel. Musashi was the strongest human of his era, not just because he was the fastest or the physically strongest, but because he was the smartest, the most creative, and the most spiritual. He was a warrior philosopher who wrote the Book of Five Rings to summarize his philosophy on life and combat. The decisive question, who would win? Now, let us imagine time has turned its wheel and Musashi, at the peak of his power, found himself facing the greatest fighter of our modern era. Who would this fighter be, whose persona captivates audiences? The MMA champion who shook the sports world is not just a fighter, he's a phenomenon. A champion in multiple weight classes, his skills are a lethal blend of boxing, wrestling, and Brazilian jiu-jitsu. His speed is superhuman. The power of his strikes resembles a hammer blow. But what truly distinguishes him is his fight IQ inside the cage. He can analyze his opponent in the first few seconds and reshape his strategy in the blink of an eye. He is the perfect fighting machine designed in the laboratories of modern science and advanced training. The battle. Time versus technology. Spirit versus science. So who would win if Musashi and the Phenom faced each other? The answer lies in the nature of the conflict. If the two met in an open battlefield with no rules and no referee, Miyamoto Musashi would be the victor without a doubt. Why? Because Musashi's battles were not fought on a playing field, but on the boundary between life and death. While the Phenom trains to fight within rules, Musashi trains to kill in the truest sense of the word. While the Phenom thinks of winning by points or submission, Musashi thinks of ending the fight with a single decisive blow. Musashi's combat experience, filled with real attempts on his life and situations where he faced death head-on, grants him a coolness of nerve and a level of concentration that cannot be replicated inside a cage. The Phenom's knockout blow would be swift as lightning, but it would find Musashi's wooden sword waiting, not to block it, but to redirect it into emptiness, followed by a single calculated counterstrike to a vital point, exactly as he did with Kojiro. It is pure combat genius facing evolved combat sports, and in a battle of life or death, Pure genius always prevails. Conclusion. Therefore, when you ask, who is the strongest? The answer is that Musashi represents the peak of human strength under the harshest conditions. He is the embodiment of a will that transcends the limits of the body, the samurai who remains undefeated because he does not fight to display his power, but because he knows it is the law of the universe he lived in. He is the strongest across the ages.